One track on repeat, it starts again before I realize it ever ended. One track on repeat, same opening line, ending differently each time around. The speaker sits where it always does. Cable slightly twisted from being moved once, then forgotten. I didn't cue the song, it was already there, waiting to resume something. The room absorbs the sound evenly, no echo, no emphasis, just presence, filling space without asking for it. The first listen felt intentional, after that it became habit. One track on repeat, I stopped marking the start and the ending, blurs into function. One track on repeat, the lyrics pass without instruction, meaning not just on its own. I notice different details now, back and voice will pause before the hook. Things that I missed and I was paying attention. The song doesn't change, but my position does. I sit further back, let the sound reach me indirectly, like it knows I'm not listening for answers. If I skipped it, this would feel interrupted. One track on repeat, it stops being this way and becomes something. One track on repeat, it stops being music and becomes timing. One track on repeat, by the time I turn it off, the silence feels unfamiliar for a second. I stay past goodbye after the meaning was already clear. Time kept going without instruction. I stay past goodbye, not to change anything, just because leaving felt too precise. Your coat was already on, keys in your hand. The conversation thinned down to logistics. I nodded at the right places, answered correctly. Nothing unfinished on the surface. The door opened, closed. That part worked perfectly. I didn't. I stood where we've been talking, floor cooling near the edge. Woman, where we stopped, I replayed the last line, not the words, the timing, how it landed earlier than expected. The room didn't react, furniture stayed aligned, only the air shifted responsibility on to me. Once goodbye is spoken, everything else is optional. I chose not to optimize the exit. I stayed past goodbye long enough for the silence to reorganize itself. I stayed past goodbye as if remaining could soften what was already decided. Some endings don't push you out, they leave the door usable and wait to see how long you'll test the hinge. I stayed past goodbye until staying stopped feeling like a statement. A messenger window stays open, cursor blinking without urgency. No sound, no vibration, just a space waiting to be claimed. I type a line, then move half of it, not correcting, just narrowing what I'm willing to show. The draft saves itself without permission. Date and timestamp like it means something. I scroll up once, see older attempts, shorter, less careful, already abandoned. My thumb hovers then rests, the keyboard stay active, as if expecting a decision from me. Sending would finalize, deleting would erase. I'd leave it in between. The words I keep aren't complicated, they're just not ready to travel outside. Each edit feels smaller but heavier, like refinement adds weight. I changed the opening 3 times, not because it's wrong, because it points too directly. The middle stays vague on purpose, no questions, no demands, just enough context to sound intentional. The ending never settles, it waits like it knows. Timing matters more than phrasing. If I attach a name, this stops being private. I lock the screen without closing the app, carry it with me room to room, as if movement might decide. Hours pass, nothing updates, the drive remains accurate without being sent. Your name in drafts appears once at the top of the screen, and I understand why I haven't moved it yet. Later when I set the phone down, the cursor disappears, the message stays saved, not finished, not forgotten, just waiting for a version of me that hasn't arrived. The sound stays under where words would form, music present but not persuasive enough to guide anything. The dial clicks once past the station you like, past the one that talks too much. I stop where the signal thins, not static, just less opinion. Street names pass, unread headlights cross the windshield, brief, unattached. I keep both hands steady, not because I'm tense, because balance feels correct. Too much volume would explain what I'm avoiding. I don't follow the melody, I follow the spacing between notes where nothing asks to be interpreted. The drive continues without commentary, just moving, and enough sound to confirm I'm not alone. Traffic updates, ignored inertials, half caught, half dismissed. I register voices without assigning faces. The city speaks, I don't answer, the rhythm stays level, no chorus repeated loud enough to take over my thoughts. There's comfort in reduced signal, not silence, just less insistence from everything. I lower the sound again until it becomes background instead of direction. Radio low finally matches the pace I'm keeping. We kept it small, nothing expanded. No bigger words, no promises to adjust later. We talked about nearby things, what was open, what had closed, which street was easier. After sunset, you mentioned the place you've been once. I said I'd passed, it never stopped. That was enough detail. The table between us stayed clear. No plates, crossing lines, no hands looking for space. Anything larger would have required follow-up. We kept it small on purpose, like scale alone could protect the tone. We kept it small, so nothing had to continue after tonight. Yeah, no future dates, no references to how things usually go, just observations, easy exits. Share reactions that didn't lean in either direction. We nodded more than agreed, smiled without adding weight to anything said. There's a skill and restraint, not everyone practices it, but we did briefly. We kept it small, and that's why it fit exactly where it landed. We kept it small, enough to carry without deciding where to put it later. Tonight doesn't press forward, nothing on the screen insists on being handled. No sound sharp enough to recognize my attention, so I let the glow sit where it is and allow the hours to line up without assigning them a task. Telling myself that if something truly mattered, it wouldn't arrive this carefully. Inbox stacked in quiet order, subject lines doing their best to sound important. I open one, then close it without finishing the thought. The clock advances indifferent. I notice the movement only because I'm not measuring anything else. A glass waits near my elbow, no condensation, no instruction, just available. If something mattered, it would insist louder than this. I place the phone where my eyes won't trip over it, so the room keeps its balance. The night doesn't ask for speed or explanation, it just holds its position. There's a difference between postponing and declining. This moment, live exactly in that gap. I answer messages that don't tilt the evening in either the direction, leave others unsorted without promising later. Stretch once, not from fatigue, but because the chair suggests it. This isn't avoidance, it's a recalibration of what deserves immediate response. The longer it repeats, the more it sounds like a setting I selected without ceremony. Nothing urgent finally lands as a phrase I can stand behind, not as an excuse, but as a boundary I'm willing to keep for the rest of the night. Before the light goes down, I scan the just left exactly where it was. The cup arrives, darker than planned, steam lifting briefly, then behaving like it knows the hour. I didn't need caffeine, I needed the option to stay alert past the part where the day releases you. The cafe lights switch modes, not brighter, more selective. Tables thin out, conversation shorten. I take a seat facing inward, not toward the window. Choosing this means accepting what comes later. Coffee after dusk, not to wake up, to remain available. Coffee after dusk, I take the first sip, knowing the night will stretch because of it. Lit off, no sugar, the bitterness lands clean. I count seconds between sips so it doesn't rush into my system. My phone stays in touch, notifications irrelevant. I watch the barista wipe the counter in the same pattern as earlier. The world continues, unconcerned with my timing. If I chose tea, this would feel like compromise. Coffee after dusk, the room stays active longer than required. I stay seated on purpose. Coffee after dusk, I notice my thoughts arriving sharper, less forgiving of gaps. There's a cost to pushing past evening, not dramatic, just cumulative. I accept it, sip by sip, without negotiating. Coffee after dusk, when the cup empties, I don't refill. I check how far I've gone. Coffee after dusk, by the time I leave, the night feels altered in ways I won't undo. Later lying awake, I recognize the taste, still present, not the drink, but the decision. The door stays locked, never safety. Just because there's nowhere I'm heading. Shoes come off near the entrance, not placed, just dropped where my minutes end. The room accepts it without comment. The kitchen light stays on, not bright, not dim, somewhere between functional and familiar. I check the weather out of habit, then ignore it. Nothing outside requires a response. Leaving would need a reason. Tonight doesn't offer one. Another night and no announcement, no cancellation, just the absence of departure. Another night and time loosens its grip, schedules dissolve into something less exact. I sit where the floor feels warmer, back against the couch, phone nearby but not involved. The hours line up quietly without asking what I plan to do with them. A neighbor's light turns off, then another. The building settles into its usual pattern. I follow suit without meaning to. If I change clothes now, this might feel like preparation. Good foundation, just the absence of departure. Another night and not exciting, not heavy, just consistent with how today ended. Some nights are meant to move forward, they're meant to hold everything in place so nothing spills before it's ready. I scroll past invitations that weren't really for me. Close apps without reading updates. Heat something simple, eat standing up. No soundtrack chosen. The room hums on its own. This isn't isolation, it's alignment between where I am and where I don't need to be. Another night and I breathe out once longer than usual and continue as planned. Another night and when I finally sit down, the night adjusts around me naturally. You finish a sentence and don't continue. Not because you're done, but because you're watching what it does in the air. I wait an extra beat, longer than polite, longer than accidental. The table between us stays untouched like it's listening. Nothing interrupts, so the gap becomes visible. Space between words, not empty, just an aside, holding meaning temporarily. Space between words, where tone arrives before intention and lingers after. Space between words, that's where everything relevant stands quietly. I notice your breath change before you speak again. The sound doesn't matter, the timing does. You choose something smaller, safer. It lands clean, but not complete. My response comes measured, not rehearsed. I leave space on purpose, so nothing collapses too early. If either of us filled it, this would become definitive. Space between words, neither agreement nor refusal, just position maintained. Space between words, I recognize it now as something we're both protecting. Some conversations aren't about what gets said, they're about what survives without sound. That's where the truth waits without demanding inches. Space between words, I don't rush to close it, I let it stay at a distance I can manage. Space between words, when we finally stop talking, it's still there, unmoved by Later alone, I remember the pauses more clearly than the sentences they separated. Streetlights on the ceiling, sliding in segments, not meant for indoors, but finding their way. Streetlights on the ceiling, broken into lines, Just not ready for sleep, not ready for anything else. The curtain stays where it is, thin enough to allow interruption. A car passes outside, then another, each one rewriting the room in brief intervals. I follow the pattern without counting. The light never stops long enough to explain itself. Streetlights on the ceiling, I don't adjust my position. I let the room do the moving for me. Streetlights on the ceiling, they arrive, then leave before becoming personal. I notice the cracks near the corner only when the light hits them right. Details I've lived with without memorizing. The ceiling fan stays off, air and touch the room, holding still while the outside keeps passing. My phone rests near my shoulder, screen dark, no role in this scene. I breathe evenly, imagine nothing. If I pull the curtain wider, this would feel absurd. Streetlights on the ceiling, repeating a route I can't see, but somehow understand. Streetlights on the ceiling, by the time they stop, the room feels slightly altered in ways I won't try. But when the street quiets, the ceiling returns to its usual color, as if nothing passed through. The seat clicks forward one notch, mirrors adjusted without thinking. Dashboard lights settle into place. I start the engine before checking the road. The street opens up, empty enough to choose. My hands find the wheel at 10 and 2, like muscle memory. Never forgot what to do. Once the car moves, there's less room for a vision. Hands on the wheel, everything else falls into sequence. Without commentary, hands on the wheel, I don't announce it. Direction becomes something physical. Traffic signals line up, more cooperative than expected. I follow the flow, not faster, not slower, just consistent. The radio comes on mid-song, I leave it there, volume set low enough to coexist with my thoughts, not let them. A turn I usually take, slides past on the right, I notice, and keep going. If I change lanes, now this would look indecisive. Hands on the wheel, grip steady even when the road doesn't explain itself. Hands on the wheel, I trust them more than whatever I was replaying. There's clarity in motion, not the dramatic kind. Just seeing out an eruption, down to one after another. picture the destination, yeah. Hands on the wheel, I exhale once, longer than required, then refocus. When I finally park, I leave the engine running for a moment. Refocus before letting go. The sign flickers once, destination still readable. I step closer before deciding anything else. The stop smells like rain and metal. Old schedules taped to the glass. I check the route number, even though I already know it. A couple stands further down, arguing in low tones. I focus on the curb paint, one thing from repetition. My phone stays in my coat, keys pressed against my palm, as if holding weight helps me keep direction. Missing this one would add another explanation. I don't wanna wait. Bus home, doors folding open like it expects me. Exactly now, last bus home I step on without checking who else is riding. Car taps, one beep, seat fabric rougher than I remember. I take the window, not for the view, for the reflection. Street signs smear in two-color bands. I count on the sections by habit, not distance. The engine hums steady like it's done this too many times to comment. If I look back, this would feel incomplete. Last bus home movement confirms what I already chose without asking. Last bus home, the city slides past, uninterested in my timing. There's comfort in shared direction, even with strangers, everyone facing forward, agreeing nothing else. Last bus home, my stop approaches before I finish replaying. Last bus home, when I stand, the seat pulls quickly like it was never mine. Just goes behind me, road number glowing. I want the rest. I want the The door clicked once clean, final. No drag in the hinge, no hesitation. Just a sound that knew what it was. My hand stayed near the knob longer than useful, as if wood and metal might offer a different ending. Footsteps faded before I decided what that sound meant. After the door clicked, the room adjusted, not dramatically, just enough to notice. After the door clicked, air shifted position like it had been waiting for permission to move. After the door clicked, everything stayed except you. I hear the elevator somewhere, not sure if it's yours or someone else's. That uncertainty feels intentional. A jacket still hangs on the back of the chair. Not forgotten, just not claimed yet. The light over the sink hums, same volume as before. I focus on that instead of counting explanation. They arrive as a ghost. It's a brief vibration that leaves the rest up to you. After the door clicks, I move one object, then stop. That felt like interference. After the door clicked, time didn't rush it, reorganized quietly. Later when the room cooled, I remember the sound. Yeah. Not how it felt, but how clearly it landed. Slow reply. The screen doesn't change, but my attention does. Minute by minute, I place the phone beside the cup. Not face down, not face up, just reachable enough. The message shows deliberate, nothing else attached. No typing bubble, no movement to misread. I check the time, then stop. Numbers feel unhelpful when they don't point forward. If I stare at it too directly, this becomes expectation. Slow reply, not late, just unarrived, living somewhere between. Slow reply, I start filling the space with ordinary actions that don't require both of us. There's a version of patience that looks identical to distraction. I practice both without deciding which one this is. I answer emails that don't matter, rinse a glass already clean, walk to the window then back. None of it urgent, none of it helpful. I keep my phone close without holding it, as if proximity counts for something. Slow reply, I hear every sound that is in it. Room noise becoming louder than intention. Slow reply, when it finally comes, I'll read it once before reacting. Until then, the message I send keeps its position unanswered, but present. Room still warm, even after the door closed. Air holding shade longer than it should. Room still warm, like the night hasn't caught up. Nothing moves, but nothing settles. I stand where you were, not to check, just to notice. The floor keeps the heat better than expected. The chair hasn't cooled, the fabric remembers pressure. Your glass is still half full, condensation fading unevenly. I don't touch it, that would interrupt something finishing on its own. The thermostat clicks, too late to matter. The room already decided what temperature it wants to keep. I loosen my shoulders out of habit, not relief. Outside, voices pass and don't return inside. Stays occupied without explanation. If I open a window, this would disappear too. just above the line between. The message is short, shorter than it should be. No greeting, no explanation, just a sentence that assumes you're still listening. I read it once, then again, now for spelling, for tone, trying to hear how it would sound on your side. The cursor blinks, patient, more confident than I am. I adjust one word, then undo it, change punctuation, then remove it entirely. The meaning stays the same. That's the problem. The room doesn't react, nothing shifts, no sound to tell me if this is the right moment or just a familiar one. Almost said it enough times that my hand feels like it already did. There's a version of tonight where this goes through and the rest has to respond. I'm not sure, I wanna see which one it becomes. Once it's delivered, it stops belonging to me. Almost said it, because holding it feels heavy and it hurts. Saying anything, ooh. Almost said it, I locked the screen instead, let the draft keep the weight. Later when the phone sleeps, the message stays awake, unfinished, still deciding what it was meant to do. I placed the phone screen down, not to hide it, just to remove the option. The table feels wider that way, wood grain, a small scratch. Things I don't usually notice come into focus. No vibration reaches my palm, no light leaks through. I know where it is, that's enough. Turning it over would change the temperature of this moment. Phone face down, nothing incoming, nothing confirmed, just the weight of it resting. Phone face down, I don't call it discipline, I call it keeping the room as it is. Time moves without alerts, I check the clock instead. Numbers don't ask questions, they just pass. I sip what's left in the glass, tastes thinner than before, still usable. Outside footsteps echo once then fade. Someone else's urgency doesn't reach this table. If I flipped it over now, the silence would become a choice. Phone face down, messages can wait, so can explanations. Nothing here needs proof. Phone face down, I breathe out longer than required. Let the pause do its job. This isn't one of them, I keep it intact by not looking. Phone face down, I stay seated until the thought of checking loses its Phone face down, when I finally reach for it, doesn't echo. Even when I clear my throat, I lower my voice out of habit, not necessity. The TV's on, but barely. Subtitles doing the work. I'm not following the plot, just the timing of when scenes change. A notebook sits close, pen resting across the spine. I had something earlier worth writing down, it didn't last. The air feels occupied, not heavy, just feel like it remembers a conversation from yesterday. I notice my thoughts only when they drop below the level anyone else would hear. Low volume thoughts moving through me without forming sentences. I don't stop them, I just adjust. Low volume thoughts, low volume thoughts, low volume thoughts, not trying to convince me, just passing information I may or may not use. I replay a moment from earlier tonight, not the words, the space in between them. When neither of us rush, your reaction stays unclear, not confusing, just unfinished, like a file saved with a generic name. I sit back further than the couch requires, hands folded as if posture could keep things organized. If I focus harder, this would sharpen. I don't, I leave the edges uncommitted. Low volume thoughts circling familiar ground, not landing, not leaving either. Recognize the tone before the meaning, that part feels intentional. Some ideas only work when they're incomplete. Too much attention turns them into statements I'm not ready to make. I'm not ignoring anything, I'm pacing it, spacing each reaction so nothing tips before exposed to this isn't avoidance. It's time and there's a difference, I can hear it and how low everything stays. Low volume thoughts keeping me company without demanding a response tonight. When I finally stand, they follow at the same level. Changed. Curtains half closed, not shut, not open, just enough light to keep the room undecided. Yeah. Street noise slips through the gap, it unfocused like it doesn't want attention. The fabric moves once then settles back, I notice, because nothing else is moving. A lamp stays off on purpose, I lean into the dim, let the edges blur so I don't have to name anything. Dust floats where the light lands, slow enough to follow. I sit closer to the window than I planned, as if distance from the glass might explain what I'm doing here. Outside, someone laughs, then the sound folds in on itself. Inside stays the same. Curtains half closed, keeping the outside at a manageable distance. I don't need clarity, I need control. If I pull them tighter, the room would shrink. If I open them wide, this would feel exposed, so I leave them where they stopped on their own. There's comfort in not choosing how much to let in. Curtains half closed, holding the night back, just enough to pretend it's temporary. Curtains half closed, stay seated I don't adjust them, I let the room remember this shape. Lights still on, even though the night's already settled. I don't need them, but I haven't turned them off. Lights still on, casting shadows I didn't plan. Nothing's happening, but I'm not ready to end today. I'm sitting where the couch dips in from too many evenings like this. Remote untouched screen glowing without sound. The window reflects the room back at me, like it's asking if I'm staying or just pausing. The clock moves without announcing itself. I notice because I'm watching, not because I'm late, just away. If I switch them off, the room would decide something. I'm not done letting it stay open. Lights still on, holding the edges of the room together. I tell myself it's only electricity. Lights still on, as if someone might walk back in, as if brightness could explain waiting. There's a glass on the table, sweat dried along the rim. I forgot when I last took a sip outside. A car passes, headlights stretch across the wall, then disappear like they were never meant to stop. My phone stays face up, no vibration, no reason to check. I breathe slower than usual to match the room. If I dimmed them now, this would feel intentional. I'm not choosing that yet. Lights still on, not because I need to see, but because I'm still here. Lights still on, when I finally stand up, I hesitate, hand near the switch and walk past. Lights still on. The fabric sits heavier than mine, sleeves longer than expected, cuffs folded back once then left uneven. I notice the difference every time I move. The pocket holds nothing, still stretched like it remembers keys or hands that weren't mine. Taking it off would answer a question I didn't ask. I leave it on, not for warmth, for continuity. The night keeps its shape that way. I leave it on around the house like it belongs in these rooms already. The mirror returns a version of me, slightly misaligned, shoulders wider, silhouette altered. I don't correct it, the zipper stays halfway, not closed, not undone. A position that doesn't decide. Outside air shifts, temperature inside remains consistent. I move slower, only because the sleeves insist. If I change clothes, this would feel intentional. I wear it through tests that don't require explanation. I wear it past the point where borrowing feels temporary. Fabric against skin, memory without dialogue. Some things don't belong to you, but adapt too easily your routine. You stop noticing where they came from until ask. Still wearing your hoodie, the phrase settles as something true without being an announcement. Still wearing your is evidence of how long the